when it happened.
Tonight on The Factor Uncensored, a federal investigation underway after an attack at the White House Correspondents Dinner over the weekend. The suspect now officially facing 3 felony charges, including attempting to assassinate the president.
Megan, it's me, your spiritual advisor. If I get an even number, Clay's going bald tonight.
Plus, fans of Megan Thee Stallion having a very strong reaction to her online breakup announcement. But when it comes to social media and relationships, how much sharing is simply too much?
The Isiah Factor Uncensored starts now.
Welcome and thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. We're getting our first look at new details behind the attack at the White House Correspondents Dinner. 31-year-old California man Cole Allen made his first federal court appearance today, officially charged with the attempted assassination of President Trump. Unsealed court documents reveal Allen sent a manifesto to family members just before the shooting, outlining his exact motives. According to the federal affidavit, Allen wrote that he had been waiting for a real opportunity to strike, writing, "I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes." Prosecutors say Allen traveled across the country armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives to carry out that very threat. Joining us to talk about it tonight, University of Houston downtown professor Dr. David Branham, political analyst Dr. Dietrich von Bietenfeld, Texas State Representative Ron Reynolds, and podcast host Angela Box. So, guys, first of all, that end of the lineup, your thoughts when he left a manifesto. Did he have plans on ever coming back? Is that a sign he felt like he would be killed if he was successful?
He had to know there was a good chance. He had to know there was a good chance that it was all going to be over. When you walk into a place that's secure with a gun and you have bad intentions, most of the time you don't come out alive. So he's fortunate to be alive, but unfortunately this very well-educated, very smart man is now going to spend the biggest portion of his life in jail because of this mistake. So this was just a mistake, and it was a bad calculation on his part.
Now, 60 yards into the room, made it that far past Secret Service and security there. Your thoughts about that, Dr. von Bietenfeld?
The reality is, and this is something, Wolf, my father, was big in national security quietly, and at the end of the day, we recognize that these aren't Green Berets, Navy SEALs, or Delta Force people. At the end of the day, the political aspects of Secret Service are why they wear suits and ties, as opposed to carrying openly assault rifles and things of that nature. Anecdotally, you know, I've interacted with them where I had loose change in my pocket going to see, you know, the former president, and they're very polite, and they have a security objective, but you don't know who you're dealing with. Is this an ambassador for a foreign nation? Is this a cabinet level official or their designee? So they have a very political job in conjunction with their protective role. And so at the end of the day, it's not that surprising, because if you're moving quickly, they're trying to balance the protection of their, and again, this is why you have layers of security, right? So you get past the first layer and then you've got 6 more layers. He never got in the room, he never got within striking distance of the president, but the reality is this is a real threat, and we take it seriously, but the Secret Service's mission is very challenging, particularly because they can't just level a city block like a Navy SEAL would if there's a threat in a general area. They've got to say this is a precise threat. Is this somebody who we need to kill? Is this, they're a law enforcement agency.
All right. Third highly publicized attempt on President Trump in 2 years. Angela, your thoughts?
Well, with all due respect to David, who I love, it was not a mistake. This was an assassination attempt. And I think when his manifesto basically reads like every subreddit or comment section on MSNBC or the Daily Kos or Democrat Underground or the Daily Beast, okay? He is saying exactly the same things that every other lunatic Democrat is saying, and here's the rub. The leaders of the Democrat Party and the media, same difference, they're all out there saying the same things. They're calling him Hitler. They're calling him a Nazi. They're calling him a rapist. They're calling him a pedophile, a racist, a homophobe, genocidal maniac, whatever. what? And then when these things happen, the third time, by the way, Trump 3, filthy left is 0. When are they going to figure out that maybe other things are afoot and someone's protecting this guy? But I digress. Every time
You mean like holy, like God is protecting?
I'm just saying.
Got
I'm
it,
just
got
saying. By the way, he handled it like an absolute beast. He sat there as cool as a cucumber. Anyway, my point is this. When Democrat after Democrat after Democrat after Democrat are saying these things, that he is all these horrible things and he is an existential threat, and then these things happen and they go, oh my goodness, well, we don't support that kind of behavior. It's like, the hell you don't. They absolutely do. And old Cole Allen was up there at the White House Correspondents Dinner trying to do the media solid. He's gonna look, you guys. I'm gonna do this for y'all because I know y'all hate him as much as I do. It is, and it's not both sides. And the same thing happened with Charlie Kirk. And the left is celebrating, or they're pissed off that someone missed again. It's disgusting.
State Representative Ron Reynolds, Democrat, do you guys take it too far?
Well, first of all, my head's spinning from listening to all this nonsense.
Well, it's not nonsense.
But I think that this certainly was reprehensible. No one should attempt to kill someone because they don't agree with their political rhetoric. Having said that, you have the audacity to call out Democrats. The person who's stoking the inflammatory language is Trump and MAGA extremists. They're the ones that basically inspired the insurrectionists on January 6th and beyond. Most people that are domestic terrorists are very right-wing social white men. This was a one-off. This was an unfortunate situation. But you can't bring Democrats or the media on this. This was a person that probably needed to get some help or something like that. But we know that the rhetoric has been high, Isiah, on both sides of the aisle. Unfortunately, President Trump is the leader of the free world. He has the bully pulpit. He hasn't been the responsible adult in the room. He stoked fear and fear-mongering upon blacks, Jews, LGBTQ, Muslims. He's
the most pro-Jewish president we've ever had.
This person has been one of the most vile presidents of our lifetime.
So
Isiah, the sick part about it is that he doesn't want to be responsible and say that, because when it had that incident, he said there were fine people on both sides of the aisle.
That's not what he said.
Referring to neo-Nazis.
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Okay, he's lying about that.
That's exactly what he said.
That has been disproven over and over and over again. And this is my exact point. He's sitting there acting like that Trump didn't just get shot at for the third time. And when he came out afterwards in his tuxedo in front of the world and said, listen, we need unity here. We need to, people need to stop this. And it's not on the right. We don't call people Hitler and pedophiles and rapists unless they actually are, like Jeffrey Epstein.
Thank you guys for joining us. Still ahead, as investigators uncover the reality behind the White House Correspondents' Dinner attack, a parallel storm of conspiracy theories are taking over social media. We'll talk about that next here on The Factor. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to The Factor. We're continuing our discussion about the shooting at the White House Correspondents Dinner. Despite the shooting happening in front of hundreds of journalists, wild conspiracy theories are flooding social media. This includes viral hashtags claiming the attack was totally staged, time travel rumors, and even AI-generated fake passports. Joining us to talk about it, founder of Urban Conservatives United, Jonathan McCullough, and podcast host Adam Nelson. So you guys, I'm sure you've been blown away by some of the craziness, and some people are buying into it. Others are just kind of standing back saying, look, go ahead with the craziness, the foolishness. Your thoughts about what you've seen, heard, that's been so outrageous that it even blew your mind?
So Isiah, what's crazy, I know some people say it's a hoax, but I say in the story, it's too many inconsistencies that happen in the story.
Man, you coming with that foolishness
I got to. You know why? Because being a former federal employee, I know how the Secret Service operates, right? There's levels to security. When you have whenever the president is in town, they have the state level, the city level, they have the FBI and the Secret Service in any location. So according to the story, according to what was said, they said that the young man was on a mezzanine level above the ballroom, and he checked in a night before, right? So you telling me all this Secret Service, all the security that's in this hotel, you've never seen this guy come down the mezzanine with a shotgun, right? And then 60 yards away, you haven't seen this guy approaching you, running full speed, and then sitting on the video that was shown on television, they just sitting there looking, and when he dashed past, they just sat there and delayed for 10 seconds before they pulled their weapons.
So what was the end game here? If it's staged,
I think, me personally, I think...
Go ahead, Jonathan, too.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to figure out where he's going with this. Are you saying that it was staged, or what?
I think it was.
Is that your position?
I think it was. It's alleged, of course, but I think it was staged.
Well, I'll tell you.
It's alleged.
Yeah, I've stayed at that hotel just maybe 2 years ago, the Hilton Hotel, the same hotel where the Democrats shot Ronald Reagan, who is a Republican, the same hotel. Okay. I stayed there, and I arrived, and it was an event where President Trump had to speak, and I arrived one day before the event, and nobody searched my baggage. So it's possible to do that, right? Because when they get there and get close to the show, Secret Service set the perimeter, then they start searching people. But if I get there before then, like I did a couple of years ago, nobody searched my baggage. I could see the possibility of somebody getting in there with a rifle.
But do you think it's staged?
Absolutely not.
Well,
absolutely not. No.
I think he's saying it's a partisan issue. He's saying the Democrats did X, Y, and Z. It's not a partisan issue. I think it's a public security issue when you have these individuals that's getting paid by taxpayers, and they're supposed to do a job, right? They're supposed to protect the president. They're supposed to vet everybody 2 days, 2 weeks prior. You know this well as I do. When you go into Washington, D.C., anywhere you go, they have Secret Service everywhere. People dressed in regular clothes. And you telling me in this closed environment where they know what this one individual is going to be, they couldn't stop this?
Well,
it's too many inconsistencies. I'm just saying.
Okay, well, that's your position. But I can tell you this. History has taught us one thing, that the Democratic Party either attempt to assassinate or assassinate Republican presidents, from Ronald Reagan all the way to Charlie Kirk. So this is their pattern. No, there's a saying that says, if we forget history, we're doomed to repeat it. 100%. So this idea that, everything's a hoax, we might as well dismiss everything that has happened in the past in terms of assassinations or attempted assassinations as being a hoax.
So the reason,
might as well.
The reason why
by that logic.
So the reason why I'm saying it's a hoax also because it's a alternate plan. So Donald Trump always wanted to build this grand ballroom, right? And on my way over here, I heard that it was getting approved for $400 million from public funding.
That's not true.
That's what I heard on the way over here.
Okay, well then I don't know what news you're listening to. I don't know what news you're listening to. That's not true. Private donors gave President Trump that money to build that ballroom.
Are you sure about that?
I'm absolutely sure about that. It's been proven. Television and media are all against him. So you got to watch who you listen to.
Okay, got you.
Listen, Isiah.
Thank you.
So no, but what I'm saying though, all we know is what we seen. Now, the media are portraying or saying another thing. We don't know because we didn't see it. We haven't seen it. We don't know.
Well,
we don't know.
Right. Nobody's absolutely certain.
So it's inconsistency.
But
versus you saying
no, hold on. Right? My position, I do not believe it was a hoax because this is a pattern by the Democrat Party. Now, that being said, nobody's absolutely certain.
100%.
But I will say this.
I agree.
I would rather love a man when he's wrong than hate him and discover later that he was right.
Let me ask you this. Since you're a Republican, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
So
how you missed that one?
Yeah, okay.
So out of all the things that Donald Trump has done and said, do you think he's a good man?
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely.
He said he was a Republican.
Absolutely.
But how can you say that?
You say all the things that he said and done.
I'm not saying
right?
that was alleged. I'm not saying things that we thought. I'm talking about things that he actually said out of his mouth. He said it yesterday.
Some of the most brashest people love the hardest. But Donald Trump is from New York. You ever been to New York City?
100%.
You know New Yorkers. New Yorkers are brash.
He's the president, though. Come on now.
He's still a New Yorker. He was a New Yorker before he became a president.
All right, guys, we got 10 seconds. Wrap it up. 5 seconds each.
So, I'm saying, look, it's a hoax. I think it's a hoax. Like, again, it's alleged. I think that it's a lot of inconsistencies in the story.
Jonathan?
It's not a hoax. It's real. The hate is real. People out here hate him that have never even met him before. So certainly the people that's conditioning them to hate him, their hate is even greater.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Still ahead tonight, a major legal shift at the Texas border. A federal court says state and local police now have the power to arrest anyone suspected of entering the country illegally. We are breaking down what this controversial ruling will mean.
At America.
This program is being brought to you by Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer.
All righty, welcome back to The Factor Uncensored with an update on how Texas is handling the border. A federal court says the state can now move forward with a controversial immigration law known as SB4. Many of us know that here in Texas. Simply put, this law gives state and local policies in Texas the power to arrest anyone they suspect of crossing the border illegally. A court has thrown out a lawsuit that was trying to block that measure, handing Texas a massive legal win. So how will this actually work on the ground? Joining us to talk about it, Executive Director of Fiel Houston, Cesar Espinosa, immigration attorney Kim Bruno, and Texas State Representative Ron Reynolds, along with conservative podcast host Angela Box. So first of all, Cesar, your thoughts about this ruling. What does it mean for Texas? What does it mean for people?
Well, several things. Number one, this is further going to complicate the immigration issue. Now, people are already afraid of police. police. Some people who are even U.S. citizens have been detained by police. So this is only going to complicate things for the community as well as for law enforcement. We have to keep in mind that if people get detained illegally or illicitly, this could bring legal battles against the state of Texas and thus causing us to spend more money in defending the state of Texas. So I don't agree with it. I've never have agreed with it. And at the end of the day, you know, for a state that touts itself for saying that we need less federal intervention, for them to now say, okay, we need big government now in Texas to act like the federal government is really counterintuitive. So,
Kim, do you think many local law enforcement agencies like Houston, Austin will be forced into this, like what we saw last week with the governor's office threatening to take away state dollars as a result of them not participating in any immigration effort or stopping and holding individuals for longer periods of time until ICE get there? Do you see potentially law enforcement agencies being forced to become a part of this plan?
So I think that they are going to have to implement it in some way, especially closer to the border near Texas. This is a huge victory for Governor Abbott. And for the law enforcement to implement something like this, it's going to cause a lot of confusion within our entire state. It really, it's an overpower, it's an abuse of force for the law enforcement. And, you know, the Fifth Circuit never really answered the truth question. So this is going to be an uphill battle. This is going to be a fight that we're going to continue to see. It may start being enforced now, but the Fifth Circuit never answered the question as whether this is constitutional and whether it is actually the state's right to enforce deportation. So the real underlining issue here is the state being able to self-defend against what they're calling an invasion of immigrants.
And what would be the next legal step in this matter if the court never ruled definitively?
So what we would see would then be the Fifth Circuit making this ruling and then it getting pushed up to the Supreme Court to make a final decision and determination. But we're seeing all kinds of things getting changed right now, and it's just going to be a difficult outcome. It's going to be a long fight, a long battle.
Representative Reynolds, can local law enforcement afford to do this?
Well, Isiah, I mean, can they afford to do it?
And I don't mean financially, but time-wise, where you're focused on immigration and not the crimes that may be going on in your community.
That's the big crux of the problem, is that local law enforcement isn't trained to deal with immigration, right? That is not something that they're trained to do, but they're now going to be thrust into doing something that they shouldn't really be relegated to doing, while they should be fighting crime, reducing crime, going after real hardcore criminals. They're going to be basically chasing people looking for their papers. This is another show me your papers. This is a function of the federal government, as the immigration attorney Kim stated. They punted. They didn't really answer the question of whether or not Texas had the authority to do it. They basically said the plaintiffs didn't have standing, so we don't even have to really address this issue. So this issue is long from being resolved, and unfortunately, law enforcement is going to be caught up in a very gray area.
Angela, do you see this as a victory for the state of Texas, and do you think the governor will take action and say, get your asses out there and start rounding them up?
I think the governor will take action, and it reminds me of what Arizona tried to do during the Obama administration. The Obama administration, which absolutely refused to secure the border, so Arizona took it upon themselves to do that. I imagine it'll make it to the Supreme Court. I imagine it will be overturned. But in the meantime, Joe Biden let in about 12 to 15 million people, okay, so that they could pad those congressional districts, get more Democrats elected. That's the only reason they did that.
They can't vote.
We can't vote.
You have to be a citizen to vote.
Congressional apportionment determines how many Congress people there are. The population of a place determines how many representatives you have. So Joe Biden in the dead of night shipping hundreds of thousands of illegals to red states in order to flip those areas.
Abbott did that. Joe Biden did not do that. Abbott did that.
And also, illegal aliens absolutely do vote. We know there are 2.5 million who have Social Security numbers, and then they can get votes.
Undocumented immigrants, they're not aliens.
Okay.
There hasn't been
illegal aliens. They should not be here.
There hasn't been one proven case of anybody being undocumented and voting.
That's right.
And until we have that, then we can't call it it. But, you know, the Epstein files are there, but we can't call it things what they are. And then people want to focus on the rhetoric, and they want to focus and they want to shoot out talking points. But at the end of the day, we're criminalizing a group of people who fed you today, who you drove on their streets,
who built your house.
No.
But we should not be incentivizing. We should not be rewarding.
My family did not come here saying, "Oh my God, I'm going to come."
Who come illegally, and then give them a pathway and give them all the welfare in the world and give them the schools and the health care and everything that we know.
I'm more concerned about white men being the Proud Boys or skinheads or neo-Nazis than I am about an illegal immigrant.
Angela, I was undocumented for 33 years, and never did I get any Social Security, never did I vote, and I worked my butt off, and never did I get anything from this government that I didn't work for.
Huh?
All right, thank you guys. Go on all damn night. Still ahead, we turn to the uninvited guests crashing every outdoor event in Houston right now. The Lovebugs are back in full force, and we're breaking it down for you here on The Factor. Don't go anywhere.
If you're in
Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. If you've driven anywhere in the city of Houston this week, you already know they are back. Swarms of love bugs have been officially taking over the Bayou City and probably other places around the country. We're told they're even attracted to the exhaust from vehicles. So why are they swarming so early this April? And more importantly, when will they finally go away? Fox 26's meteorologist John Dawson gave us the answer. It's time to spend a little time with our favorite meteorologist, John Dawson. John, there's been a lot of love bugs out there, like there's love in the air. It's almost irritating. So
I'm trying to mow the yard this morning, right? And I look down, I've got like 3 on this arm and 2 over here, and they're just kind of like hanging out. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
First of all, where are they from, and why are we seeing such an influx of them?
Well, we see this every year, right? It's a pretty common.
Do we just forget?
It's a little early. It is a little early, but yeah, when the temperature gets just right and the moisture, you got to have the ground kind of wet too, then it's the perfect time for the laying of the eggs and everything, and then they kind of come out. It's usually about a 2 to 4 week kind of event, and we do it in sort of usually in May. We're a little early, and then we do it again in sort of late September as we'll do it again. But I want to talk about temperature because.
But first, do we just like come out with bug spray, or we just let them be?
I think we just let them be.
We don't want to be killers.
They're not going to hurt you. They're not. They're harmless. Now the only thing, they'll hurt your cars more than they'll hurt you. because they're acidic and they'll eat away at that clear coat.
So wash your car as soon as they get on there.
When that sun starts baking them on there, that's the bad news. But what I want to talk about these temperatures, this is high temperatures. I don't have a graphic to talk about low temperatures. But what's really making the difference is the fact that our overnight lows are not very low. And again, you can see we've had a couple fronts here where we've had below average temperatures. But for the last 31 days, we've been keeping the yellow there, meaning above average temperatures. Again, this is for high temperatures, but we're still doing it in the evenings as well. And so when we don't get cool at night, the ground is just perfect for laying eggs.
All right, so we have to put up with it. How much longer you think? Maybe
probably 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks. All right. John Dawson, always thank you. Appreciate it, sir.
You got it.
All right.
You're watching the Isiah Factor Uncensored.
Welcome and thank you for joining us for the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. Over the weekend, entertainer Megan Thee Stallion shocked fans by announcing her split from NBA star Klay Thompson. Not with a quiet PR statement, but by blasting him on Instagram for alleged cheating. The public fallout is already having real-world consequences. Just hours ago, Deadline reported Megan is abruptly exiting her Broadway run on Moulin Rouge weeks early. It begs the question, is airing your messy breakup online empowering or just toxic oversharing? Joining us to talk about it, social media expert Karen Diamant, publicist Brigitte Waugh, and owner of Space City Solutions, Sainik Shakur. And Sainik, you said you saw this coming, right?
Yeah, man, I definitely seen this coming. I didn't even think that they were a good match to start with. But more or less, when you're sharing on social media, you're asking for attention. So that's what I feel like this is a play on Megan's part. Nobody had to know this. You know what I mean? So it was more or less of, let me put this business out here, let me get the attention of the fans. I heard today that she's canceled the Moulin Rouge. Yeah, you're doing a lot.
Girl.
what you
And do you think the fans cared, or did they want to know once they realized they weren't together again?
Oh, well, the fans care. They definitely care. This is social media. People are highly invested in celebrities' lives. So much so that they're putting their own situation. Like, I'm seeing on social media today, people are, hey man, if you see your brother tripping, give him a slap, a pop in the head, slash his tire, something for Megan. Come on now, y'all. What are we doing?
That's crazy. Sending thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
And the bottom line, are they sharing too much? Go ahead, guys.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree.
I mean, I've shared here on this show that I've been in a non-social media relationship for almost 5 years, and I'm a social media expert. But, you know, there are some things that I just want for myself. And so she brought this relationship to the forefront publicly and then put the breakup on real loud publicly, which I think she should have consulted with her publicist beforehand. I mean, like that was a reactive post. Her coming out on social media, not even fluid sentences, not whole words, just like, you liar, you cheater. I mean, it was just a total reaction from her. And so it spawned into this social media war against Clay, because he was the normal dude. He was the corny dude. He wasn't the bad rapper with the tattoos. And so, you know, now the world's mad.
So you know the saying, hell hath no fury than a woman scorned. So right now she's feeling very, very scorned. And for several reasons. You put it out there because she said, I've never dated a nice guy. Yeah. Clay is a nice guy, especially after she went through the things that she went through with the rapper and got shot. And so now she's trying to also kind of change her image, if you will. She's cooking spaghetti and catfish. I don't know what that's about. She did the whole Thanksgiving meal for his family. So it's like, okay, well, wow, Meg Thee Stallion, she cooks. She's just not that, you know, trap queen or that rapper. It's WAP.
The WAP.
We're not going to say what that is, I think, because we cannot say that.
She went from the WAP to a housewife.
Basically, but, you know, there's that thing that they say you can't turn her into a housewife unless she chooses to be one.
This is my thing. If Clay is in month 6 of dating, right, or whatever their time is, I don't feel like I can be monogamous to you. I don't think that brother's wrong. I'm giving you the exit out now. I wasn't playing house. I was seeing what house was like.
What did he tell her, though? What did he tell her, though? See, women react to how men, we don't know. Women react to how men treat us. So if he told her or led her on to think in her mind, listen to what I'm saying, to think in her mind that it was all good and she was the only one, then yeah, she's thinking that they're in a full relationship.
Now, before you think another day, let me tell you why you should stop thinking that, because this is how I feel. I'm saying, like, I'm speaking for, like, on behalf of Clay, or just anybody in a relationship. Baby, this isn't going anywhere as far as this. Let me tell you now.
And I think that's respectable, right? When two adults can have a conversation and say, hey, I don't think I can be monogamous. Good. I respect you as an adult. But we can move on from the relationship.
But why go on and pretend like he could be? This girl was in love with this dude, so she's embarrassed. So that's why she put that out there. You lying, cheating, blah, 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 blah. She's trying to save face.
Something I posted on social media earlier was, if I'm Megan Thee Stallion,
can't curse now,
like I'm that the hottie, hot girl, everything, then I'm like losing hottie girl points by putting that out there.
But she was hurt and looking for some public sympathy in the last 30 seconds.
That was a reactive post, but you like have to operate with logic and think, you know, what is the public going to do with this information? What if there was no infidelity? What if she was looking through his phone or something, and now they want to get back together? Now the whole public done ruined that for you. You ruined it for yourself.
But it goes back to that point. Hell hath no fury than a woman scorned. She's a woman scorned.
Exactly, but she should have called her publicist first.
Well, she wasn't going to do that. She should have, but she didn't.
That was wild. That was
Thank you guys for joining us here on The Fact. I'm sure people are still talking about out there. Still ahead tonight, the new Michael Jackson biopic is officially a massive box office hit. I told you. Yeah. We're sitting down with actor Kendrick Sampson to talk about stepping into the shoes of a music icon for that film. That's next here. Keep it on The Factor.
Get more value.
Welcome back to... I gotta find that movie theater. Welcome back. Some people who went to see the highly anticipated Michael Jackson biopic this weekend just couldn't contain themselves. None of us could. The film has shattered records and has become the biggest opening weekend for a music biopic in history. You can't tell the King of Pop story without talking about the mastermind behind some of his biggest hits. I sat down with Kendrick Sampson, who is from right here in Houston, who played the legendary Quincy Jones in the blockbuster film. Even before the weekend began, $40+ million this movie has made. Your thoughts about that? And then you get the opportunity to play the legendary Quincy Jones.
Yeah, the honor. I was like, am I worthy? Yeah, in terms of the success, it's hard to process. So it's similar to what I related to. It's similar to how Quincy and Michael were like trying to brainstorm and imagine and talk, talk powerfully about how the success of Off the Wall, the success of Thriller was going to be. But there's no way they could have predicted how much of a culture shift and impact it could have had. And that's the same thing I feel like with this movie. The way the previews have gone and the way people have been crying and dancing in the theater.
Right.
There's no way to process what the impact is right now and what that means for me. As long as I get a little bit, a little bit of the profit.
There you go.
I'll be happy with myself.
Not the back end.
If I could get a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and slice that pie up. I'll be good. But I feel really, more than anything, I feel really powerful to be in alignment in some way with Quincy Jones, because I was he had such a profound and personal impact on my childhood.
And having to put on that hat, take on the role of someone we all know, was that any pressure for you?
It was personal pressure more than anything, because well, I mean, there's a couple things. You know, Lorenz Tate played him before, and he was gonna be in the movie. I didn't want nobody to be like, see, Lorenz Tate did it better. And I admire him so much and look up to him, so I was like, I gotta fill these shoes. And on top of it, I was obsessed with Quincy Jones personally. So I felt a lot of pressure to get it right, but I didn't have enough time because I was cast so quickly, like in 3 days.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even have the script on the first day. I hadn't read nothing. I was, you know, so I really didn't have time to let the pressure and the anxiety sink in.
And when you saw the finished product on the screen, what you had created, your art, what was that like for you?
I always sweat a lot. Yeah, the hairs be coming up on my arms, and I get tight. I get everything squeezed together. When I see myself, I'll be like, why did I do that? Who did I do? But honestly, it was the reaction. Like I said, Lee Jante was the person who cast me. When she saw it and she was like, you have no idea how proud I am, that's what brought tears, you know, to my eyes. When my people, my close people that I love dearly, and people close to Quincy give any sort of compliments and praise and encouragement, and it goes to the soul, it goes to the heart. But also, to be completely honest, I put in hard work, and can't nobody tell me nothing about that. I feel very confident in my hard work, and more than anything, I want Quincy to whisper in my ear at some point, I know you hear me, man. I want you to whisper in my ear at some point, hey, you made me look good. You know what I mean? You did me right. You did me right.
When the fans see this, how important is it that they are completely satisfied? We've seen videos of them dancing in the aisles. It's more than a movie. It's an experience for these people, despite what some of the critics have had to say. How important is it that they walk away from that theater feeling magic?
So I hope that people understand that feeling, one, is our true power. That culture is our true power. But also that is the magic, and that they have the magic in them too.
Kendrick Sampson, the man who played Quincy Jones in the movie Michael. We all know a simple smile can change someone's day, but what if a new smile could change their entire life? Next, details on a local organization, one of our favorite organizations, giving back. Stay with us. And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. They say a smile is a universal language of kindness, and our next guests are taking that to heart in a massive way here in Houston. Houston Random Acts of Kindness has officially launched the Give a Smile Makeover initiative. Powered by Mo Smiles Luxury Dental Aesthetics, they are gifting one deserving person over the age of 21 a completely free, life-changing smile makeover. And yes, that even includes airfare and lodging. Joining us now, Dr. Mohammed Hassan and of Mo Smiles Luxury Dental, and philanthropist, trivia, and David Dennis. Glad to have you guys back on The Factor. So, Doc, you ready to give back to the community, huh? You excited about this?
Absolutely. We're looking very forward to it.
And, of course, you know the difference people feel in life with a new smile.
Absolutely.
And so you've seen some of your clients. What is it like when you do your work on them, your magic, and they walk out of there?
Man, it's life-changing. You see people start getting in the gym, change everything about their appearance. So it's through and through, it's just really a life-changing experience.
And David and Trivia, you guys always, non-stop give back to the community. How important is this campaign to you?
It's very important. You think with Houston Random Acts of Kindness, what we try to do is meet people in their place of need. And so for us, being able to partner with Dr. Mo to be able to create something for other people. You know, you think about it, you know, kindness comes in food, clothing, whatever it may be, but just to give the opportunity for somebody to change their life with a smile is so important.
And when people, Trivia, show you appreciation, what you guys have done for them, what is that like for you?
Oh, it's very fulfilling. It makes me happy inside. Just Random Acts of Kindness, and that's the name of the organization, Houston Random Acts of Kindness. And actually, this giveaway is a global initiative.
So all over you can apply?
Yes.
You ready for this?
We're looking forward to it, man. Absolutely.
Yes.
And so what kind of treatment will you provide the winner of this competition?
So we're talking veneers, crowns, gum lifts, pretty much anything that involves changing and giving a full smile makeover.
And so, David, for those who are interested, how do they sign up, become a part? What's the process?
So you go to HRAC Day and on Instagram, and
official Dr. Mo on Instagram.
And what you do is you send a picture of you and a smile and your story, or if you're nominating someone, you send their story, and then we'll have an opportunity to be able to go back and kind of review all of the stories and all of the pictures to see who will be the lucky winner.
And once again, go over those sites that they need to visit really quick so people can write it down, because I'm sure they're like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. So
I'll make it real slow. At Houston Rack Day.
And Rack is spelled R-A-K.
R-A-K.
Houston Rack Day.
Yes. And
official D-R-M-O-E, official Dr. Mo _ on Instagram.
All right, and they go there. And how much time do they have? When will you guys be making the final decision, or you're still trying to filter through some of the applicants?
So, as you know, July 25th is Houston Random Acts of Kindness Day, so we'll make the announcement actually on that day. So it's a very big day for us. It's a very special day, and then just being able to partner with Dr. Mo and being able to create this global event is going to be a great deal. And also, I forgot to mention too, they can go to annual Global Humanitarian Awards as well to submit pictures and their testimony or their story.
And of course, you guys do the annual Global Humanitarian Awards, and they air it on Fox Soul as well. What else do you guys do in the community? I know you have the classrooms, rack class. Can you keep up, David? Trivia, can you keep up with the long list of things you guys do?
You know what? We stopped counting a long time ago, because it's not about how much you do. It's just about always being able to do something. I think that with her heart and the way that it is, we are constantly doing something. So I won't be surprised if we walk out the door when we leave here and we got something that we got to do on the way home. So, but that's just how it is. And you know, and for her, and I respect and love her so much about that, because of what she does and how much she wants to give back. back. And, you know, she always says it's a lifestyle for us.
All right. And Doc, once again, how excited are you about this?
Man, I'm doing jumping jacks, man. I'm really excited. Can't wait.
And in the last time, remaining moments we have here, let's give out the addresses and where people can go again.
Annual Global Humanitarian Awards on Instagram and at HRAC or Houston RAC Day, RAKDAY.
And official Dr. Mo, that's official DRMOE _ on Instagram.
All right, get those applications in before July. That's when they will be deciding. So thank you guys for joining us and all that you all do in the community.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Still ahead, the Factor's YouTube community is growing and you are a part of it. Subscribing is easy. All you have to do is scan the QR code on your screen and you'll be taken right to our YouTube page. We'll be right back. Remember, you have until July. Get it done.
The best viewed
All right, tomorrow, a social media star speaks out. Comedian Stanley Starks, known to millions out there as Uncle Stanley Joe, sits down with us to address the serious allegations of domestic violence made by his wife. Here's a first look at what he had to say.
Because I think we're talking about the tape.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about where we at now, our relationship. So in the tape, that's a nasty, disgusting person. I should be beat up. Somebody, daddy or brother should have came and took control of the situation when I look at that tape. So yeah, on that tape, no, she didn't bait it. No, not at all. I'm not saying that. I think where I'm at now, our situation, I'm looking at it like where Stanley at now, not where that guy was at.
All right, we'll hear his side tomorrow night, and you will be able to share your thoughts in real time with us. So join us tomorrow night at 10:30. Have a great one.
Yesterday, I counted $240,000 by